What if the world has ended countless times and we've been unaware of a single one? Inspired by the Twilight Zone episode, The Hitch-Hiker, this begins with a simple accident and spirals into eerie repetition. A strange man appears again and again on a woman's journey, but she doesn't realize she already died and that the man is death. What if something or someone has been trying to warn us too? In this reading, tarot helps us uncover the cycle of destruction and rebirth, the silent resets, and the watchers in the margins. Let's begin. Hello everybody, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time on my channel. So we're going to hop right into this Twilight Zone episode 16 with question 1. Has Earth been destroyed many times by natural and unnatural events? Something you ever thought about? So we're going to start with Oracle, as we always do, because it does not read my mind. And then we will give extra detail with Tarot. So has Earth been destroyed many times by natural and unnatural events? Has our world faced countless apocalyptic resets that we don't remember? We have the Karate Kid. Going to pull another one before I say anything. Winter. Well, I feel as though this is saying here that the things that have happened have been out of our hands completely. Out of our hands completely. It's a secret. It is definitely a secret. I think destruction has taken place. It's a secret. It was out of our hands completely. But I think somewhere in our mind and our heart, we know. Or should know. But I think that information has been frozen out somehow. Frozen out of our minds and our hearts. There's another something that's popping up in my head here. Groundhog Day. Okay. Another way to look at this is, again, yes, it's a secret. Destruction has taken place that we are not responsible for. This has to do with both natural and unnatural events, like winter. Winter is natural as can be. Unnatural events are like Groundhog Day. So some of the events have been caused by messing with time. It also is when something like this happens, they freeze time, I think. They, whoever they are, freeze time and then have us repeat the same day over and over and over again until they can fix the issue. Fix whatever isn't working the way that it was supposed to. And we have Sleepy Hollow. So despite seeing this, okay, there's going to be a lot of people who think it's just myth, just a story, just somebody trying to scare us. There's the fear card. Look at that. Came up just as it's supposed to. Does anyone really know what time it is? And spring. So, yes, there's a lot of people out there who think that, you know, this question just is going to bring up fear. It's just a fear-mongering thing. But with the cards that are coming up, it is showing that this is a real possibility. And we're not at fault. It's, you know, natural events can't be stopped, but there's someone who is able to bring Earth back. They know how to mess with time. So card says, does anyone really know what time it is? Is it yesterday? Is it tomorrow? Is it 20 years ago? Is it somebody brings us back and makes it look brand new to a degree, like makes it feel almost as though we are being reborn. Winter is freezing time, like here, Groundhog Day. Spring is letting go of time. So yes, this is kind of a repeat process, and you know, it's rebirth and death and rebirth, which is really interesting because in the first video paragraph that you heard at the start, one of the things was we're going to uncover the cycle of destruction and rebirth. In winter, there's death. In spring, there's rebirth. All right, so let's see what the tarot has to add to this. Chariot. When these things happen, they happen very quickly. Very quickly. So quickly, in fact, that I don't even think we notice. Queen of Cups. Yeah, this is where time is frozen and Mother Earth is put into freeze mode. What's left of her, whatever that means. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, they put us into, or it goes into like a Groundhog Day where we repeat that same day, maybe up to the point of the destruction or maybe through the destruction over and over again, trying to hang on to all the details so when they bring it back, they can have it all right. And whoever they are. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's definitely an active nightmare. It is, yeah, it's an active nightmare. But it's active in our lives. It happens. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, it's the fear that we all have, the fear of the end, completeness of life. That's what the Ten of Pentacles is. It's the fear of dying. This may be why somebody is hiding it from us. But in this case, it looks like they're trying to learn something. Three of Swords is growth of the mind. They're trying to learn something. Somebody's trying to learn something. Whoever they are, somebody's trying to learn something. And to do that, they feel like this is what they have to do. Seven of Cups. It has been something that has happened many different ways, many different times. But they always bring it back. Always bring us back. So let us pick up these cards and see what more we can gain from this very interesting concept. And if you're new to my channel, you'll see that I clean up in a little bit of a different way, mostly because shuffling is not long here, so I want to make sure the cards are good and mixed. That way, if we get repeat cards, which we often do, they came out because they were meant to and not because I didn't shuffle well enough. So let's get these put away and pull up for question 2. This is kind of a very interesting concept here. All right. Question 2. Is the earth put back together instantly, or does it take time to recreate? I kind of feel as though this one might have been answered in the first one when they showed Groundhog Day. So they kind of freeze us with winter, freeze us in a day that we replay over and over again, the day of destruction, over and over again. But let's see what more it has to share here. So is the earth put back together instantly, or does it take time to recreate? The pursuit of happiness. I'm going to say it's kind of a slow process, just as pursuit of happiness is a slow process for most people. Imitation of life. They do like a Groundhog Day, like I said. They make it look like everything is as it was, a simulation of sorts, but it isn't. Whoa, excuse me. Yep, it's jumping. But it's not the same. Backdraft. I think, they have to contain the fire first. They have to contain the fire first. So it could even be such a thing as they have, or they create, or they have another Earth waiting in the wings, so to speak. But I don't think so, because of the winter and Groundhog Day, and also, does anyone know what time it is? I think it's just a slow process. They make it look like things are normal, but they still have a lot of fires to put out. Whoa, toys. Toys. Any comments from people or anything like something's not right gets laughed away. That's childhood or childlike thinking. What are you thinking? Ha 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 ha. Miracle on 34th Street. And then by some miracle, the blob, by some miracle, Earth becomes, despite what somebody may have noticed, that something was an imitation, the Earth becomes not just a blob any longer, but a blooming Mother Gaia again. So let's see what Tarot has to share. So it takes a while to recreate. And obviously they've, if we're noticing, if somebody's noticing, they've imitated it. We're living the same day over and over. They're making sure that our, you're being a child, any doubts is laughed off. And sometimes I think they're not sure they can recreate it. So when it does happen, it is a miracle, like a sigh of relief that it's not a blob, but that it is blooming again. Interesting how in this this reading. We've had winter, we've had spring, we've had summer. All right, so we have sun. So the pursuit of happiness is a slow process. They want to make sure that everything is just as it's supposed to be. They want to see it clearly, create it properly. Justice, to make it fair or make it seem fair, what they're doing is they do create another place for us to live, an imitation of life of some sort. Seven of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of different fires that they have to put out. So many. Every time this is pulled off. Knight of Wands. Yeah, anybody with an active imagination, they need to quiet it like right now. And they do that by making them seem ridiculous. Queen of Swords. Takes a lot of care, a lot of nurturing, and a lot of ideas to get this miracle. Moon. Yeah, what we're living on is actually, well, it is more like a blob. And what we're actually seeing is not what is actually there. It's illusion. Five of Wands. I would almost swear this is like a competition. This destruction of Earth and this putting it back together is like a competition. All right, so let us gather these up and move on to question 3. Again, if you're new to my channel, you may be hearing some interesting sounds in the background of many of my videos, if not all. That will be my Chihuahua snoring. He lays in the bed next to me and sleeps really hard while I am recording, and this is his what he adds to my recording, we'll put it that way, is his snoring. So it is what it is. There is no perfect time for me to be able to record. He will always want to be in the same room, or at least very close by. Sometimes he's in the other room, a distance away, and he still snores loud enough that the microphone picks it up. So yeah, anyway, let us move on to question 3 here. Who or what, now this is what I want to know, recreates the earth over and over again? Who? Now, the last question made us consider the fact that it's a competition, a very active competition. Radio. I'm going to pull another one here. Oops. The Twilight Zone. Whoops. The only thing that I can come up with here is that who or what recreates the earth over and over again? This has to do with a team of people. I'm going to call them people. They could be aliens. They could be something else. And to some degree, it almost seems like the destruction of the earth is in our minds. Like it never actually happens. But something changes in the frequency or the communication to our minds as to what we're experiencing. And there's a lot of twists and turns here. Twilight Zone, it says, what is real? Question mark. But I'm going to say there's a team of aliens, of otherworldly beings, of creatures, of something. And I think there's more than one team, because in a football game you have to have two. And we did determine that it's kind of like a competition. Cheaper by the dozen. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. All right, so again, two teams of whatever race, humans, aliens, otherworldly beings, ghosts, who knows? I don't know. They are not human, I don't think. With the Twilight Zone, we have the guy looking in the mirror, and what he sees is a chimpanzee. I don't think they're human. I don't. I think they're from some other planet somewhere, and we're just one of many that get played with in this way. It is something that, I mean, we could say that there's a hidden chamber of secrets where they all meet, but I think there's more to this card than that. So let's pull For Love of the Game by Centennial Man and Aaron Brockovich. Harry Potter is all about the world of magic. So I'm thinking that these beings have magic. And they use it. They want to see what happens when this happens and that happens. And as we said, you know, it almost felt like in the last one that they kind of hold their breath going, oh, geez, is it going to go back to the way it was? They love this game. They absolutely love this game. They love repiecing humans back together. And they are very, very powerful beings. Whatever they are very powerful. All right, so let's see where tarot goes with this. We have the Nine of Pentacles. These beings they live very well. And apparently they need something they really lack for nothing. So apparently they need something to entertain them. We have the King of Wands. They needed something really big. Really big and really active to make life perfect, to just bring that spark, that really huge spark to living. Six of Wands. And they recognized that they could use their magic on many different places, many different worlds. Ace of Cups. No limit to what they could do with this magic. No limit at all. However it flows, it flows. Eight of Cups. They are not walking away from this game anytime soon. They really love the game. They love it. Five of Swords. The biggest problem that they have in putting the human race back together, our race back together, is to make sure that our minds are not all scrambled. by what they do. World. Yeah, they're very powerful, and they literally can end the world anytime they want. Anytime they want with their magic. So let us get this picked up and move on and see what more we can learn about this game they play. So 2 different kinds of beings maybe, or 2 different teams of the same being. Non-human, that's what I'm getting anyway, that have magic, are very powerful, and need something to occupy themselves, which would be destroying Earth and other planets too. All right. Question 4, why does the Earth get recreated each time? Why do they keep doing this cycle? Why don't they just blow it up or do whatever and move on to the next one? Why does the Earth get recreated each time? Patriot. It's good sporting. They wouldn't be being good sports if they didn't clean up after the game. Release. It's not because they have hearts. I don't think that that's at all. That's not even in the cards, so to speak. It's not because they have hearts. And, you know, you can take this as it's just how the game is played. With Steel Magnolias, that's always my good friends card. Let me pull another one. I'm not sure where that's going. I Am Legend. Yeah, so they don't want to end the game. I mean, it's the way the game is played. There's rules to their game, okay? They don't put us back together or put the Earth back together because they love it or anything like that. They put it back together because it's where we live. It's where people are. We are living beings, and they do not want to destroy our race. That's not their point. If they destroy a race, they don't. If for some reason what they're doing destroys a race, they don't put the world back together again. So they must know somehow that it happens. And we've got you and me against the world. This was a farewell to arms. They put down their arms if that happens. And I think it could happen at times. But of course, the people on whatever planet or the living beings on whatever planet aren't going to know it happened if their world is destroyed and they don't know. This game, again, there's rules to the game. So they can't just destroy the world and leave it go. They have to make it new again. They have to bring it back again. in the same state that it was when they destroyed it. So let's see. I'm not sure who makes the rules. It's not saying it, or unless it's just the team. So let's see what Tarot has to share. We have the Devil with Patriot. Yeah, they're not here to take our power away from us. That's not the point of what they're doing. It is literally just a game to them. High Priestess. They have enough heart, if you want to call it heart. They really don't have hearts, but they have enough heart to keep it a secret from us. Not to let us know what they're up to, what they do. Knight of Wands. This is the risk that they take with our lives every time that they destroy the world. That it is possible they might not be able to bring us back. Temperance, they try to... I'm getting an image in my mind of one team will do a certain kind of magic to destroy Earth, and then the next team gets the opportunity to try their magic. And I feel as though this balances things a little bit so that the destruction of the world for good doesn't happen. Magician. Yeah, if this is if it actually does take place, if the world is actually destroyed and no magic can bring it back, it just has to stay that way. There's nothing that they can do about it. Knight of Pentacles. They go out looking for another world to take the place of the one that got destroyed and the people who got destroyed. And I think with you and me against the world, I think they have to go before somebody and explain what happened. But then they're allowed to go out and actively search for another world. Six of Wands. Yeah, the world has to be put back exactly as we would recognize it. It cannot be different every time, which is why it takes time to put back together. So let us move forward to question 5. There are 7 questions in this episode 16 of Twilight Zone Inspired Series. And if you're enjoying this content, please feel free to like and subscribe, and also to share if you're so inclined to. Maybe you know somebody who would enjoy something like this. And also, if you're seeing something in the cards, something more than I'm seeing, please share. I'd love to hear it. I'm just one reader. All right, so we're going to move on to question 5. See what more we don't know, right? Okay. Question 5. How is it that we are unaware of the destruction? And this is kind of wondering why the collective forgetfulness shields us from remembering every single time they destroy the world. How is it that we are unaware of the destruction? Little Willie. Going to pull again. Batteries not included. To make sure that we don't remember, there is magic used on us while we're in that state of frozen, imitation of life, kind of wherever that is. They use magic on us while we sleep, or maybe in that imitation of life is where we're sleeping and we are actually dreaming of being alive. Maybe that's what that is. It was in the same spot. So imitation of life could be we're just in a deep sleep and we're dreaming about maybe childhood. We're dreaming about different things in our life that have taken place that make things seem extremely normal. The man in the iron mask. This keeps us from realizing that we're not really here. That what we're seeing in this card is not us, that we're not real. We're going to put the man in the iron mask. He is real, but the image that we see of him isn't real. Top Gun, they're very good at it. They are so good at it. Must be, because we've never known. Dante's Peak, For Love of Money. Last Samurai. So yeah, they're very good at it, no matter how they choose to destroy Earth. And the refreshing thing is it really never has anything to do with money. That's not why they're doing anything. But you can look at it as, you know, we're not the only ones who have this happen to us. So do the privileged. The privileged die with us every time too. Or are destroyed or unalived or whatever you want to say. Also, which means if anything did happen, it would be with the Last Samurai, all of the human race, even the privileged. So let us see what Tarot has to add to question 5. They're just really good at it, and they have ways to make us think that we're still living. As we have batteries not included, and the imitation of life was there too. All right, so we have 8 of Swords. Yeah, they have our mind someplace else. They kind of lock it into place and make us think that that's where we are. 2 of Swords. They allow our mind to choose where we're going to be. 8 of Pentacles. They've practiced this so much that they have no problem hiding from us any of this. 6 of Wands. And they recognize how good they are. They do. They have amazing imaginations and amazing magic, and they recognize how good they are. They're not real worried each time that they destroy the planet. And although I think they do give consideration each time, like I said, how they choose to destroy it. On one hand, you've got one team that destroys first and rebuilds, and then you've got another team that uses a different method that makes sure that the first method and this method don't destroy the earth. So they do make some decisions where that's concerned. And justice, yeah, it's only fair that the privileged are taken out too, just like we are. Star. So yeah, if it didn't work, if humanity came to an end, we would just go back home, wherever home is, in the stars, beyond the veil. All right, so question 6 is where we're moving to now. And I know that you can hear my chihuahua snoring now. There is nothing I can do about that, so bear with me, would ya? He's obviously sleeping hard, right? He keeps me awake at night at times, too. He sleeps really good, and he keeps me awake by moving around from time to time and wanting to be covered up or under the covers or whatever. So he has to catch up for lost time. I don't, but I mean, he doesn't allow me to, but he's supposed to. Okay, so question 6. Are there any beings that attempt to warn us about what is happening to us? So as it talked about, there might be actually watchers in the shadows. There might be other beings that are watching these non-human two teams play. So is there anybody attempting to warn us? Aaron Brockovich. I'm going to say yes, there are. Just like with Aaron Brockovich, who took on a big company to save a town. I'm going to say yes. But even if we were warned, what would we do about it? Radio, yep, we're being warned that these two teams are doing this, or somebody's attempting to warn us that it's happening. Bad Moon Rising. And so there's the warning. It says right on here. Warning. Be alert. Prepare. Yeah. Not exactly sure how that would work. So we have a definite yes. We have people, like I said, there are those who are definitely trying to warn us about those two teams that enjoy their game of destroying Earth over and over again, and other planets, not just Earth. Hand-me-down world. Yeah, it's almost like they're saying, here's your call to action. We're warning you. Do something about it. But again, what can we do? Bringing Up Baby, Patch Adams, The Blob. This is like saying, this is your world. This is your world. This is your baby. Raise the frequency. It says laughter is contagious. Raise the frequency. Almost as though that can make it so that, if you remember in the blob covered a cafe, I think it was, covered a cafe. Nobody could get into that cafe because the blob had covered it. They didn't know how to uncover it. And I feel as though these beings, whoever is warning us, is saying, your world's in a bad place here, but she's your baby. Raise the frequency, make it different, and nothing will be able to penetrate it. So let's see what Tarot has to add to this. I guess what I wanted to know. It kind of shared with us what we can do. And laughter really is contagious and really does raise the frequency. Hermit, yeah, they're quietly watching, but somehow they have let us know. And it didn't say that. They didn't say how they're letting us know. Nine of Swords. So yeah, it's like they're communicating with us in our dreams through and sharing with us nightmares of this that we're experiencing. Four of Pentacles, and they hold us there for a little while. They hold us in that nightmare mode and let us experience the whole thing the way that it looks. Ace of Cups. Yeah, they hit every possible gamut of emotion that they can. Try it as many different ways as they can to get the point across, to let us know that something is happening. Six of Swords. This is my peace of mind card. So it's kind of like, look, this is your baby. You need to bring up this baby. You need to have it be a peaceful place. None of this hand-me-down stuff. Realize that you aren't helpless. This is the Hanged Man. You aren't helpless. Surrender to the frequencies, the vibrations. Laugh. Surrender. And the Sun. This is the only way that things are going to be clear, that you're going to be, or that we're going to be protected and be able to see everything clearly. There is and I feel like with the blob also, there is a cover over us that makes it almost impossible to know what's happening. Like the blob covering the cafe. They're telling us how to change that in our favor. These messengers. All right, so raise the frequency. It's always that. It's always raising the frequency, whether it be dealing with people, humans on our planet, trying to help Mother Earth sustain the pressures that, she has to. It's always with the frequency, raising the frequency. All right, so we have one more question here. Oh, forgot that one. It's sliding. They're sliding. Okay. All right. Will there ever be a time when the earth is not recreated? So is there an end to this cycle, or is it infinite? Will they ever get tired of playing with us? Okay. Airport. I'm going to pull another one before I say anything on that one. For love of the game. Pulling another. I kind of know where it's going, but I don't want to speak up too soon. $14.08. the net. Okay. Well, of course, there's for love of the game. We know that these two teams, these non-human individuals, love their game. They love their game. I think there will come a time when the Earth has just had enough. And I think they know that because, again, they love the game a lot. So eventually, they're going to have to realize that the Earth doesn't have the energy to give anymore, and they just have to stop. They love the game so much. But there does come a time that they have to release us with 1408. There does come a time that they have to release us. They really don't have a choice because they could destroy all of humanity and they know it. Whirlpool, The Pursuit of Happiness, and Die Hard. They don't want to do that because that means that everything that they have done, that they've learned from their magic, that they've learned from playing this game goes down the drain. And that was with the Pursuit of Happiness, that was a long, long time. Because remember, it takes a long time to put Earth back together. They don't want to lose out on all of that just because they weren't careful enough to make sure we didn't get destroyed completely. So let's see where tarot goes with this. Lovers. Yeah, they have a choice at any point in time to pull the plug. Star. They can hope to have this game go on for a lot longer. Hermit. But they are wise enough to know when it's time to let go. Six of Pentacles. They have to give us time they have to give the planet time to reharmonize. I think then they can come back if they want to. After however long, a period of time or whatever, I think that they can come back and start doing it again. Death. Yeah, there's the reiteration for that. But, they don't want everything that they've done to go down the tubes just because of death of the planet. Knight of Pentacles. Some of what they do, some of their life quest here, this game that they play, because they have such lives, they're not really in pursuit of happiness. They know we are. So it gives us time to live longer, gives us time to have more of a pursuit or an active life. When they do what they do, it's almost like living Groundhog Day. Page of Wands. They've learned from this before. They've had an active learning situation where they did lose a planet, maybe more than one. So they are much wiser now. They know when it's time to release it and let the earth rejuvenate. So answer is no. There's never going to be a time that the world is not, or that earth is not recreated, because that's not what the game is about. Again, the game has rules, and they are wise enough to know when it's time to let the earth go for a while. And so that it can rejuvenate itself. Then they can come back and play again should they choose. So that is it for episode 16 of the Twilight Zone inspired series, the teaser for episode 17. So before you go, what if an object could absorb emotion, then use it against you? In the next episode, we explore the chilling possibility of haunted objects that don't just carry energy, they remember it, and sometimes they act on it. So there's the teaser for episode 17. On the screen, you will also see the show schedule. You can see that I do 3 different shows each week. And if you enjoyed Twilight Zone, you might enjoy the other 2. So check them out if you choose. With that said, I thank you so much for being here with me for this episode. I do hope you made it to the end to find out what happens. That's kind of how every video is. So until next week, have a great week and take care.